Hey guys, I'm HoosierBoy, aka Mr. Who's Your Boy, and I hope you guys are doing well today. But today I want to talk about something specific. It's definitely something that's always on my mind. It's something that a lot of people run into, but I want to talk about balance. Back when I was doing like the Insert to Join podcast, a thing with a bunch of buddies of mine, we got together to talk about. We really focused on balance, about how you have to work within your means to make things happen. Today I want to talk about like 3 specific categories to that balance, and it's going to be like the work, life, and more balance. We'll talk about the more in a minute, but really, I don't know. I feel like these 3 categories really kind of encompass everything related to like, your life and your schedule and like all the things you have to consider when you like, look at your schedule. And it's definitely something like, that really worries people. It definitely like worries me a lot. Like, do I have time to do everything I want to do? But I think if you really consider everything in categories of work, life, and more, it really helps me think about, how much free time I really have. So first, work is work. You got to do what you got to do. Anything that you do that pays the bills or provides for you and those you care about, that just kind of is what it is. So that's one's pretty self-explanatory. Life is everything that you consider to be necessities to you specifically, right? Grocery shopping, I think, is like that category of life. Travel is a category of life, if you have a commute to work. Your kids' soccer games, time with your significant other, things like that, like things that are important to you and really like add value, the necessities that you consider necessities to your life. I think that really fits that category, and that can be broad and really interchangeable between people. Is like, what I consider to be a life necessity for me isn't going to be a life necessity for other people. So the more section, though, I think is everything else, right? It's everything that you want to do that doesn't quite fit into like the life category of like necessities in your life, or it's not related to work, so it's not a work category thing. So for me, like when I think of examples, I think streaming is a really good example of one of my mores. Working out is another example of my mores. These videos, I really enjoy these. I really want to stick to it, but it's not really a have to situation. It's more of a I want to do these. So I put it in the more category, right? It's work, life, and more, the extra stuff. So my whole point here, though, is that, between work, life, and more, all that stuff takes up time. And although, like, I think the work-life situation is pretty stuck for most people, those are obligations and things that they have to do to, either out of obligation, responsibility, or to, like, to make their life what it is. I feel like that situation doesn't change much per person, but the more category absolutely varies person to person, and the amount of availability into their more category varies person to person, right? If you're someone working 60-hour work weeks and you have 4 kids and a wife, and let's say like, all of those kids are doing sports and maybe one of them struggling in school, like that's a lot of responsibility going around. You want to be there for all those moments, right? So your more time just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, man. And it's tough to manage that. I mean, luckily for me, like the only person in my life that I have to make time for day to day is, my fiance Hannah and our little dog Lily, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's already hard enough, you know what I mean? So to everyone out there that has like families and, in trying to do more with their more time, kudos to you guys, dude. You guys are actually MVPs. When I think of that, people that are doing the most that have limited more time are probably friends of mine, like Lupo to the Rescue, Inspector Jeff, DJ Hero, and entirely more, man. I know like there's Ruffles who just had a baby, Jared FPS just had a baby. Like there's all these people, man, that have all these other big life things going on and all these like real world obligations, and somehow, dude, it feels like they're still making it work. And it really just blows my mind, man. But I think those are the people that they found a system that works for them and they're sticking to it, right? When I think about my balance, it took me a long time to figure it out. And specifically, like when I started streaming, I was at college. So I've talked about this before, but basically when I started streaming almost 2 years ago, I was in college, finishing my last semester at IU, and I just had a ton of free time. I was ahead in school, I had a half semester, and I was about to graduate. Started playing video games, playing so much of video games, of Destiny 1 specifically. I was like, I probably should stream this just to feel productive with it. And from then on, dude, it just kept growing and growing and growing, and became this thing that became like a real thing for me, right? It became a real hobby. It became a real like passion, and here we are, man, almost 2 years later, still doing it. And for me, it was like when I started out, though, I had all this free time. Nothing was stopping me from doing what I wanted to do and just grind it out, right? Like there were days where I did 12-hour streams, and I think about it now, dude, and it literally blows my mind that I could do that because I don't have the free time now. Like, man, I wish I had 12 hours of free time to get stuff done. I mean, hell, here I am, like, trying to cram in this video just for tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work out that way. And in the greater scheme of things, dude, I got nothing holding me back. You know what I mean? Like I have a very, like Hannah's been very supportive throughout the entire time I've been doing content. It's never, you know, as long as I never left our family to be vulnerable to expenses, right? Like I've spent a ton of money on streaming, I've spent a lot of time in here, but as long as I've always like prioritized her and, you know, our family and, you know, like things that we both value, as long as I never compromised those beliefs and like those obligations, we've always found a way to make it work, right? Even right now, like with the schedule Hannah and I have, we generally only see each other for like, you know, when she's getting ready in the morning, she, you know, we say bye, kiss her goodbye, and she's off, you know, the entire day. She gets home usually like an hour before me, so I come home at 6, she comes home at 5, and we have like from 6 to 8 together until I usually hit the stream at 8, and then that's it, man. I'm streaming 8 to midnight, and then she's in bed by 10, and then rinse and repeat Monday through Friday. And then on Fridays, if I'm not streaming, I'm spending time with her for the evening, and then Saturdays and Sundays, we just cram in everything we want to do. Like, you know, I talked about this weekend, we did a lot of chores. Like, you know, we went to IKEA, looked around, Hannah went grocery shopping while I was doing other things. Like, we just do all those things that we usually don't have time for during the week together, and we just cram it, dude, all together, and then just rinse and repeat every week. So, you know, Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, really, I don't see her a ton. She doesn't see me a ton. It's usually like 2 hours, 3 hours a day. And then Friday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, man, she's the only person I see. And not because I don't want to see other people and we go do out things, but it's like, you know, that's our time, right? That's what we found to work for us. And I feel like it took us a long time to find that balance, but ever since we did, man, everything's just been better, right? I don't know, I want to say it's a setting like happy wife, happy life, but it's more than that, man. It's like, I'm happy with the balance, and I'm glad it works for her, because that's a big part of it, right? But it's more like I found something that I'm okay with, and it allows me to make the most of my limited time and do everything, right? And if I had to say anything, man, with this reflection, it's I wish I was smarter about my time 2 years ago. You know, I feel like when I was streaming every single day and, you know, streaming for 12 hours at times, I feel like I don't really regret it, but I feel like there was better ways to invest my time. Now I'm doing, you know, Instagram content, Twitter content, YouTube now, and streaming, and these Microsoft events. And like even today, dude, I'm talking to people about like doing future things, like, you know, buddies rating me up for like future YouTube opportunities and maybe doing some podcasts and like, you know, maybe doing like they want to help out with the indie meet and greet thing we've been talking about. And it's all stuff I want to do, but it's stuff if I was doing this 2 years ago, I didn't have the like time management skills to make it work. You know what I mean? So like, luckily now I feel like I'm in a place where I know how to utilize the free time I have most effectively to make everything I want to do happen, right? So like I'm not just as far as streaming, like I'm able to stream on schedule, I'm able to make these videos. Now I'm hitting the gym again, which is actually awesome. I'm pretty much getting my ass kicked right now, to be honest. Gym's being real rough for me, but we're at it, dude. We're making moves, getting back at it, and it feels good. And by feels good, I mean I feel proud that I'm going to the gym, but I'm also sore as shit. So but I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm in a really good place right now, and I feel like everything that's going right with my content right now is because we figured out the balance. So to finish up this video, man, if there's one thing I can say, I hope everybody can find their balance, you know, in life. I hope you guys can understand your work situation, your life situation, and then once you better understand that, you can understand like your more situation, you know, how much free time you have to do all the things that you want to do. And I hope that motivates you, man, to make the most of it, right? For me, I was really big on putting things off until I either definitely had the free time to do it, or until it just kind of fell in my lap and I got to do it, or until it fell out of sight and I just, you know, either it wasn't relevant to do anymore or I forgot about doing it. But now I'm at a point in my life where I'm making time to do it within the amount of free time I have. I'm not pushing out the necessities to make it work. I'm not like, you know, sacrificing things to make it work anymore. You know, man, we're doing shit. And I love it, man. I hope it stays this way. I'm sure it won't. We got the wedding coming up. I'm sure it's going to kick my ass. You know, we got stuff to finish up. And, you know, I got stuff with my boys. I got to still help plan a bachelor party for my boys and figure out my own thing, man. We got a lot to do, dude. But I'm in a good place. I think balance is a big part of it. To anyone who's struggling with streaming and finding time to stream, I hope you find that balance. If you guys have any, you know, questions and like how we make it work, feel free to ask. You know, if you guys are finding things to work out for you, please let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear how you guys are managing your time, you know, not to be like, you know, creepy about it, but I would love to know how you guys are like finding ways to do more with your time in a limited amount of time. You know, for instance, like when I was really stressing about time for a while, I would just recycle my YouTube content, right? I would take my stream content. I would take my Mixer streams, put them on YouTube, put them on Instagram, put them everywhere. And that was one way I made most of my time. But I don't know. I want to do more, which is why we're doing these videos. So thank you guys for watching the video today. I know we really hyper-focused on the topic of balance, but I think it's something that's really important. It's something that's always on people's minds. So I just kind of want to put my 2 cents in on the topic. These are all things that, like, you know, I think work for me. It's kind of the way that helped me prioritize you know, the things in my life in a way that works for Hannah and I. But you know, obviously take this in stride, you know, apply it to your own life, your own needs, your own situation. I hope it helps, and if it does, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for being here today, and I'll see you later.